Welcome to Conversations. My name is Suresh Kochatal. One often talks about judicial overreach, but after reading the order of the Supreme Court bench yesterday, in the case of Prime Minister's convoy being held up in Punjab, one gets the feeling that the Supreme Court has taken over the reins of running the country. The Chief Justice of India and his fellow judges have effectively forgotten that courts are supposed to interpret the law, not rewrite it. I repeat, courts are supposed to interpret the law, not rewrite it. If this video of mine will result in a case of contempt of court, so be it. I'm ready to face the might of the highest court of the land, with the hope that it will finally drive some sense into the judiciary that today runs our executive. In spite of the millions of cases that are piled up for decades in various courts across the country, the judges get involved in cases that they have no business to be taken up in the first place. Our judges take holidays that would put a school kid to shame. Diwali holidays, Dasara holidays, Christmas holidays, winter holidays, summer holidays, and to top it all, a 5-day week. Judges want the rest of the country to work 9 hours a day, yet start the courts only at 10:30 a.m. and wrap it up by 4 p.m. max. Of course, the excuse given is that the judges have to dictate the judgments and also look up the notes written by the legal assistants on cases listed for the next day. This is when there are millions of cases pending across the country. Which brings me to the question, why has our judicial system failed us? The judges in various courts across the country often mock at politicians for not adhering to the law. But not once do these my lords get there off the ivory towers to look at the rot that has eaten away the innards of our delivery of justice. It's often said justice delayed is justice denied. Well, like the Satyameva Jayate, these words ring hollow in a system where judges hold themselves above accountability. If a government servant or a private sector employee does not do his job as is required to be done and does not change his or her way of working, they are liable to be sacked. But have you ever heard of a judge being sacked for not doing his or her job? That is, to ensure justice in a time-bound manner. Take the Sabarimala case, which was heard for months by a 5-judge bench a couple of years ago. That was a question of faith and tradition, which was best left to religious leaders and the priests to decide. 5 judges sitting for days on end hearing a case means that hundreds and thousands of cases which were slated to be heard by them got pushed to a later date that may be now scheduled after a year or two. This is judiciary. Our constitution clearly laid out the roles of legislative, executive and judiciary with clear-cut roles on what each one is supposed to do. The framers of our constitution had made sure that each one of us does not tread on the toes of the other. But over the years, these lines have got blurred. In the first 5 decades since 1950, the lawmakers had more or less stuck to their role. It's the executive and judiciary that started getting into each other's domain after that. On its part, the executive tried to rein in the judicial appointments by enacting the National Judicial Appointments Commission, or NJAC as it was called, a proposed body which would have been responsible for the recruitment, appointment and transfer of judicial officers, legal officers and even legal employees under the Government of India and in all state governments of India. The commission was established by amending the Constitution of India through the 99th Constitutional Amendment, with the Constitution being amended in 2014, or what was called the 99th Constitutional Amendment 2014, which was passed by the Lok Sabha on the 13th of August 2014 and by the Rajya Sabha on the 14th of August 2014. The NJAC would have replaced the collegium system for the appointment of judges as invoked by the Supreme Court, via judicial fiat by a new system. But the judges of the Supreme Court found that the NJAC would have taken away the cozy club of the collegium, where the Supreme Court judges decide who would make it to the High Courts, who would get elevated, who would become the Chief Justice of High Court, and also who would get transferred. The Collegium also recommends to the government as to who they deem can be elevated to the Supreme Court. Imagine the politician setting up a similar system, you scratch my back and I will scratch yours, and nominating their own favorites as MLAs, MPs, why not the Vice President and even the President. The fallout of this judicial activism is that many judges, especially in the High Court and the Supreme Court, have begun to think that they be all and end all of all issues under the sun. Naxalites, militants, and those who indulge in anti-national acts get hearings at a very short notice, while the poor, the middle class, and those without any influence have to wait for years on end. Time has come now for the Modi Sarkar to tell the Indian judiciary where to get off. The government cannot seem to be looking weak and unwilling to take on the judges who think they are law unto themselves. The Punjab episode does not come in the domain of the judiciary and is purely an executive decision. The Lakshman Rekha has to be redrawn again so that the judiciary know where the mandate starts and where it ends. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.